All right, hey, what's up, everybody? It's Meca Boss Belt Bennett coming. I've been asked a lot about what I do, and so for this one, I wanted to just focus on the word accountability. So when we look in today's world, there are so many different avenues that a person can go to. There are so many different things that they could do, and so many different ways that they are able to coach, right, or be of assistance to others. So I'm going to say that I've been a lot of different things. I've been a financial consultant, real estate investor / consultant. I've been a career coach, just a professional coach. I've coached for like executives and things, and over the time, I got to a place where, what is it that I wanted to focus on? And, everybody talks about their niche. For me, on a personal level, accountability was my problem. And on some levels, it still is. So because that's something that I understand and I have struggled with and I have gone through, I researched and tried to understand. I also have a degree in psychology. So for me, there are certain things that keep us from being accountable. We call it procrastination or whatever it is, but there are certain things that keep us from doing the things that we actually want to do. And a lot of there's a lot of different reasons, and so I can't place a singular item. I can't pick one thing, because some people is time, some people is money, some people is energy. That usually covers majority of the things. And so if it's one of those things, I'm usually able to help people decipher better ways to spend those things. For me, those are your most important, I want to say, assets, but not always. So let's just use those as some of your most important assets. So you got your time. Time is mostly how we deal with it. I try not to get really rude or, to anything, because people feel like they spend their time as wisely as they should. So you guys, people, like a typical day for most people is, you got 8 to 10 hours of work. And, I'll say maybe not everywhere, and maybe not in some of the southern places and some of the other places, but a lot of people has either 1 or 2 hours of commute. So 12 hours of your day on a lot of levels are used, and that's half of your day. Then you have, and that's whatever other things you have to do. So you also have like cooking and cleaning and personal hygiene, things like that you have to manage with for yourself. And in a day, when we look at a day singular, we can fulfill or fill up that day by fulfilling the things that we find important. For me, though, it's not just the singular day. Every day is a new day. And so where a lot of people get stuck in that singular day, I'm going to help you make a plan that lasts at a minimal 30 days. And it can be a 30-day plan where you have some days where you can adjust and do certain things and take certain steps that now your time is freed up. Okay? The same thing goes with money and energy. We spend these things way more freely than we should. And I say way more freely than we would if we understood what they were capable of. I'm really heavily into energy and understanding what it means and how it works. And time, we all, every one of us, I don't care if you are whoever the hell the richest person in the world is, or whoever the poorest person in the world is, we all have the same amount of time. How we manage it and how we deal with it cannot be on the blame of someone else. Okay, you have to work. Okay, you have to manage your home. Okay, you have to do these things. But what other ways are you wasting your time? And what other ways are you wasting your energy? I find that I don't like to argue with people. I like debates. I love a good debate. Online, offline, give me a good debate, I'm happy. But that's, to me, from a debate, what I get is I get to understand a different point of view in some place that I may not necessarily have gotten before. And so I like that. I like debates. But sometimes we spend our energy with people, places, and things that we don't need to, and so it's wasted. You could look back at, I'll say, a lot of times we look back at relationships, and we look at what was wrong in it, what happened with it, why it failed. But we don't take the time to look at that relationship and look what was good out of it, what was the reason for it. I don't really believe in a lot of coincidences or that things just happen. I think that you're put in a place of these steps are happening to you, and a lot of times, like I'll say, for you, and you have to be able to kind of pull out the essence of the reason. It's kind of like reading a good book. Like if you took the last year of your life and you made it in your mind into a book, and you see honestly where you could have adjusted, where you should have done something differently, where maybe things should not be what they are, and then you move forward and adjust in your life those things, and then you take the next year and you compare it. When you do that, even I'm saying year, you can do it for the month, shit, you could do it for the week. How you spend your time, money, and energy matters. And a lot of us don't realize how much it matters. And so as an accountability person, coach, friend, partner, whatever it is that we are, I find that I can teach you, I can show you how you can utilize your time, money, and energy in a way that is continually effective, and you are continually growing from it. And so that's what I try to focus on when I'm working with people. And I try to make sure people know that all time, money, and energy is not the same. Sometimes you have to remove things from your life, and sometimes you have to add them. For me, I'm really comfortable with being alone. And I had to literally add other people and let other people in. I had to tell stories that I was uncomfortable with saying. That's another thing with me. You're gonna be uncomfortable. That's why I try to have the clarity session with you at first, because I'll let you know, I guess this would be what you would get in that session. So being able to be uncomfortable in your own comfortability, you have something that you really want to do. I'm going to use speaking as a general mind frame, because public speaking is one of the biggest fears of anyone in the world. So you want to be a speaker, and you're great at it. You have topics and areas that you really are passionate about discussing. Well, why are you not a speaker? Well, most of us aren't speakers because we're worried about what Jack, Jill, and Tom and Dick and Harry are going to say about us, what they're going to say me. What are you going to say when you see my smile? What are you going to say when you look at my eyes? What are you going to say if my hair's not done? I will not do videos for a month because my hair doesn't look the way I want, and I had to get to a place where I don't really care anymore. And so when you get to those places to where I'm going to just do me, I'm going to just give you the best of me, and if you like it and you accept it and you appreciate it, wonderful. And if you don't, with the world being so big, you never ever have to see me again. And so when I got to that place of effort, I don't care what you like or dislike about me. I don't care if I don't resonate with a specific person or even a lot of people. I like when people unfollow me. I'm that person. I don't really block and unfollow a lot of people. I'm not unfollow. I don't really block and keep away a lot of people on the following type method, but I don't necessarily communicate with people. I have people who, if the energy is bad from a DM, I won't respond, or I'll respond with just, I'm trying to see how to explain it, because I don't want it to seem like, okay, so if it's like a, hey, what's up? I'm saying I will respond, hey, what's up? But after we're talking and I realize who you are, I will cut off the relationship. And I think everything is relationships. You got to be able to relate. There has to be a common ground or a boundary where you work together well. Me, I don't work well with everybody. I'm not a person that works well with others, with a lot of others. I have a very select group of people who I work well with because I want us to grow. I'm not a person that's just going to take your money so that I can have a little bit more money. For me, I build teams. I build long-term relationships. I'm to a place where short-term, unnecessary relationships are easily and quickly cut off. Because what happens is you are energy. You yourself have a light, or me, I call it my fire, that burns and that actually is given away to anybody you spend time or energy or money with. those things are transferred. And I mean, it could be in a lot of levels, in a lot of ways. But anyway, accountability is what happens when you say, I'm not going to let anything or anyone or any possession stop me from achieving this thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something as big as a whole business or a whole corporation or something like that. It could just be this one thing. We are accountable every day when we wake up and we go to work on time. You use your accountability when you make sure your kids are eating or your spouse is good or whatever other things that you make sure are done in your life. That's what you're doing. You're being held accountable when you don't do your homework in school or you don't finish a project at work. That's what that is. It's kind of like a checklist, like when you have a to-do list, right? We all have a million things on our to-do list. At any given day, I could wake up and tell you 1,000 things that I did not do yesterday. And so what we do is we prioritize. We say that A, B, and C need to be done. I have to go to work. I have to take care of my kids. I have to make sure my bills are paid, right? I'm just using those as an example. You got 100 other things probably. But, you use those things, and those things are always done. Look at your life. I don't know how old you are, but look at your life. If you made those things a priority on a regular basis, they're done. If you had this goal and you did everything in your power to get it, it's done. And I learned that later. My goal for the longest was simply to be able. And I hate saying it now because that was exactly right. I was able, and I'm still am. I've changed the word able. Well, let's rewind. Hold on. So anyway, I wanted to be able. I have 4 kids, and I wanted to make sure that they never needed the things that I needed. So like I grew up without parents that were there as I felt like they should. And I grew up and I've had times when I didn't eat, and I've had times when I didn't have lights, and I've had times when whatever, and so I had a vision when I have kids that I was going to always be there for them, and I was going to make sure that they always ate and they always had lights, right? That was like the baseline of my dreams whenever I started. I'm never going to let them not have lights on them. They're always going to be warm, and they're always going to have food, and I'm always going to be there. And so my life was created that way. I've not had a boss in 20 years. I've been, both self-employed and, run businesses for the last 20 years. But to be honest, if I would have done this properly, if I would have had a bigger goal, I would be I'll say a better place or a different place. I'll just say a different place, because I haven't been upset. My kids, to me, are phenomenal. I don't have bad kids. I don't have kids that I was like, yo, why am I here? And I have a wonderful relationship with them. And so that was important to me. That was what I spent the last 24 years on. And I can see it. My goals, my agenda has been accomplished. I am successful in my own eyes, as a mother, as a parent, as a person who my kids know it doesn't matter what it is. They can come to me. I don't care who it is. I don't care what happened. Any and everything that ever goes on with them, past tense and anything that ever will, I am there. I will be there. I am their ride or die, right? They know that. And so that was important for me, because I felt like as I grew up, I didn't have anybody. And I still feel like that to a certain extent. I don't have a lot of people who quote unquote ride for me like I have ridden for them. And that has become an issue for me on a lot of levels. But because of those things, I have made an immense effort to be accountable. So now my word switched from able to abundant. And I didn't really realize, I didn't even know that word until maybe 5 years ago, like abundance, like what it means to have abundance. I've seen it before and I've heard it and I've read it, but to understand what it means to have more than enough, to be able to overflow into other people's lives was really what I wanted in essence. But, I started it with my kids, and I used that time to build this solid foundation with them. And so I'm sure that foundation is positive and is there. So now I guess, somebody told me one day that, and I've been told this so many times because I'm very private. Up until recently, I'm super private. I can have a conversation with somebody and they know nothing about me after 2 hours of conversation because I'm still super private. And I was told, one, that I'm missing out on my calling. And that resonated with me in a heavy way. And the reason, it was like, okay, so what? And then the reasoning, I went to go and my first attempt at reaching out and talking to people, it to me was a flop because I can still talk without telling you about me, and nobody knew about my kids, not because I'm ashamed of them, just because I felt like certain things wasn't their business. A lot of things about me have been very, very private, and if you know me, you still know that you only know what I want you to know about me. Like, you don't know when I'm struggling, and I don't let people know that, because to me, for the longest time, my struggle was mine. It wasn't something to share. It's not a badge that I wear proudly, or I wore proudly. Now I don't really care. I struggle like everybody else. I'm human like everybody else. But I think because I was the oldest of 5 kids, and I'm also the oldest of all the grandkids, and I'm the oldest on a lot of levels, that I felt like showing people my weaknesses was a weakness. And I would always wait until I got out of a situation to reach out, or to just let you know, yo, that shit was a little crazy. But, even then it was still minimal. But anyway, off topic. So now I've become very comfortable with sharing. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what it is, because I'm me. And there's certain things that I've been through, and certain things that I will go through, and certain things that are going to happen, that there's nothing that I can do about it. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. It just exists in that manner. And I'm okay with that now. But anyway, so as an accountability coach, what I do is I stay in your ass. That's it. We get shit done. You come to me, you got this business plan that you're not sure of. You got this goal. You have a passion, or, this purpose that lives up inside of you, that you're like, look, I work 12 hours a day. I got this family. I got all this stuff going on. How do I make this work for me and my situation? And that is what I do. And I'm really good at it. And that, and I also have a few other things that I keep going because I enjoy it. But because they were foundational for me, it's hard to let go, like real estate and taxes. Those things kept me able to be home and to be a mother for my kids. And like I said, I had this work at home job that I still kind of do every now and then, just because it keeps me grounded. I'll still work, and people are like, well, why do you still do certain things and hold certain positions? And I think it's kind of like, I seen the video with Mr. T. And he had, all his gold on and everything. And then on his feet, he had these old shoes that I think he said was passed down, generation to generation. And to them, that keeps him humble. And so for me, I have things like that in my life that keep me humble, that keep me grounded, that make sure I realize I am not better than anybody else. I don't give a fuck if when I make $1 million those years, and when I make $100,000 those years, and shit, the year when I made $8,000 with 4 kids, like, I have years that I can touch on many different levels. And because of that, I want to make sure that no matter how high money goes, and no matter how upgraded my car is, and the class of people that I'm able to network with, no matter where that goes, I still stay humble, and I still remain me. I don't ever want to lose myself. And so that is a part of my own accountability. Certain things that I do, certain steps that I take, certain places that I go, certain places that I live, and I bring my kids to, and they're like, why are we there, and why do we do these things? And I had to let them know, like, just, I don't want to, I don't want to do that. But so I just make sure that I remain in a position mentally where I keep the boss built. I remain in that positive, progressive mental mind state that allows me to say that, listen, I am not better. I'm different. And I'm ridiculously unique. And I'm me. And that's it. And I can only be me. And I'm only going to always offer me. And when I do these things, whether they be in group sessions or individual one-on-one, I'm giving you the best of me. And so I want that back. And so even though I'm an accountability coach, and you're paying me to do something for you, I'm demanding the best of you. I'm demanding you to pull out things inside of yourself that you weren't able to before, because if you were, then you wouldn't need me. And so I'm going to give you everything that you need. And if I can't, I'm going to we're just not going to work together. Or on that level, we're going to find other ways and we're going to do other things, but I'm not going to put myself or you in a position where I can't help you, but I'm just going to still be pretending like I can. I don't do that. I believe in karma. I believe that I'm going to give the best. And so if I give you my best, even if you don't give me your best, I'm going to continue to grow and prosper and to have great things for myself. So I'm going to always show up. I'm never going to give you 50%. I'm always going to give you 150 if and when I can, 1,000% when I can. And I also expect the same. And if I realize that, listen, I've been working with someone, they're 50 grand in and they're unproductive after that year, it's just not going to work. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to adjust myself, because if I'm unable to help you build this beautiful empire that you deserve, then maybe you need someone else. That's the same way I move with taxes, which is why my tax clients don't leave. I still have a few hundred people who won't let anybody else do their taxes, because I keep the same thought process in everything that I do. I give you my best. I research beyond what I'm supposed to research. I know beyond what I'm supposed to know. And I also stay in my lane. And I created the lane so that I can stay in it, not so that I could be over here and over here. I don't try to be something that I'm not. It doesn't mean that I don't know things. I know a lot of stuff like health. I've lost 150 pounds and, I've got this whole health regimen. That ain't my lane though. I can talk to you about it and I like to touch it, but it ain't my lane. It's not the lane where I am most comfortable, because I still feel like I got a weight journey that I'm working on. I still feel like I don't live the best health and wellness of myself. I still eat stuff that I'm not supposed to. I killed the bag of honey barbecue chips last night because I like them and I'm gonna eat them. And so there's a lot of levels where I'm not where I want to be, and so I use other people who are there. I talk to other wonderful health and wellness people, other wonderful business coaches. If you were an accountability coach too, we could do stuff, because how I teach and how I do things is going to be different from you. And this is why I work on teams. I like when we can work together and still see that there is a bigger goal. What's meant for me, you cannot have. It will sit there and dormant and wait for me. I believe that. And the same thing, there's nothing that I get that is meant to be for someone else. At least I don't believe that. I don't believe that anything that comes to me is meant for someone else. And I don't believe that if I miss something, if I miss an opportunity, or or I feel like it was a missed opportunity, that it really was. I think that we grow, and now there are times when, let's say, you start getting momentum. You start getting momentum and something messes up for you, and you have to make a choice. When I had had eye surgery a few times in my life, but the last time my retina detached, and I was in this what I felt like was a wonderful momentum. I was finishing my degree. I was my businesses were thriving, and it was dead smack in the middle of tax season. It was February, I think it was February 28th of 2010. I'm not even sure. I know the second one was March 8th though. I had it detached. I had this eye surgery because I couldn't fucking see. I was blind. And then on my son's birthday, right back after that, I had another surgery, and I missed his birthday. I had to call a friend over, and Amanda Johnson, as you're still my chick, you are amazing. But I called her over, and she literally had to play mommy for me that day, and she did that, and it was wonderful. And they remember that. My kids remember that. That was the first time I wasn't there for something major. And to this day, I'm gonna be honest, it still bothers me that I had to have surgery on that day. They wouldn't change it. There was nothing I could do about it. And I'm still feeling some type of way about that. But I do feel and I talked to him. We had a conversation about that, maybe a couple years ago. He is now 17. And, I still apologize because that's me. I still feel like I had to be held accountable for what I was unable to do, even though it was out of my control. But I think that's way off topic. Anyway, so as an accountability coach, I give you the best of me. I help you, figure out where it is you want to go. We create a plan, and I use 1s and 3s. 1s and 3s and 7s seem to be the numbers that resonate for me. And there's levels where I use 1, 3s, 7s, and 9s, I guess, are my numbers. But anyway, I find that I have people who we just click. We talk. And that's why I think I like to talk on the phone or in person to people, because I can feel your energy better. You can feel mine through, whatever avenues, but a lot of times you don't get to the heart of who somebody is until you talk to them. You don't get to the soul of what they want or what they're trying to do until you really press them. And so that's what I do. I press you. I kind of get you to, it's kind of like if you ever had a personal trainer, you love and you hate them. They are going to push you to be the most physically fit and have the most beautiful body that you want, that you're paying them for, but it's hard. There's work attached. You're not going to get a beautiful body by watching someone work out on TV. You're not going to get a beautiful body by doing, by complaining about how many sit-ups or push-ups or whatever this person makes you do. And you're not going to have a beautiful, wonderful empire by complaining, that I'm making you work hard, that I'm making you do things that make you uncomfortable, and so I work with that, and I talk to you, and I try to resonate with people where they are. And I don't care where you are. Where you are doesn't matter to me. I have people who we started out with no money, with very little money, just to get you started. And then as we progress, you were able to pay me what I'm worth and what you are capable of, because now your business is thriving and growing. So I work with a lot of people on a lot of things. There's some levels where I can't adjust, mainly because I got a program, my Imperfect by Design. It's hard for me to adjust that program because there's so many people who like it and want to be in it. And so it's hard for me to lessen the price because there's a lot that it requires of me. And so I justify the price by saying, look, you make 10 times that amount. So listen, you have to sometimes invest in what you want. And so that's not always the case. And sometimes you just need a little bit of coaching, and, sometimes you just need a little bit of me, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, that's what I do. That's what an accountability coach does. They're going to work with you to bring out the best in you. Business coach is just the word that I use. Accountability, business. Some people use, boss. It doesn't matter. These are just words. Progressive, momentum. I seen one. I'm trying to remember what it was because I liked her word. It was a dope word that she used. But pretty much at the end of the day, we are just here to help you. Your business coach is here to help you. Your career, your lifestyle. I was a lifestyle coach. That's a little hard, mainly because I have a very specific lifestyle. I like to do a lot of things and I don't like to go outside when I don't need to. So, it's hard for me to coach someone on a lifestyle that is out of my league, and that was really what I got. A lot of rich, wealthy people wanting coaching in areas that I just didn't work in. My son is calling me now. All right. So anyway, always stay boss built. Keep your mental mind state where it needs to be. Always make sure that you make time for you. Making time for yourself is super important, and I really want to make sure that you do that. So always do that. You are important, and you can only give from your overflow, or you only should be giving from your overflow. And so I teach you how to fill up your cup, and then of course have overflow, that the world that you live in and the world that you want to create in your empire and community, your tribe, or whatever it is you call them, can look to you and find what they're looking for in you, because what's in you is not necessarily what I can give them, and what's in me is not necessarily what you can give them. So, if you're interested, or you find me interesting at all, just hit me up, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. But, always stay boss built. Always keep your mental mind staying, focused on the progressive part of you. What happened yesterday, you can't do anything about. Be progressive, but don't forget about right now. Make sure right now is of importance to you. Right now is important. Meditation, positive growing, positive mind states. Just keep yourself positive. And I know people tell me that that's hard and it's not something that you could do. We'll discuss that. But I gotta go. Stay boss built. Go to motivatemini.com, join up for the virtual seminars, the virtual web, what's coming up. You can do this. It's very doable. Just let me know what's up with you, all of that good stuff. Anyway, peace out. Have a good day.